Hi, it's Katrina! From massive wolves to sightings of Bigfoot himself, here are 9 mythical and legendary creatures from Alaska. Number 9. The Kushtaka. The Kushtaka are shape-shifting creatures that have gone by many names by different people in the northwest section of North America, including being legends in 2 different Alaskan tribes, the Dena'ina and Yupik. But regardless of the name, the legend of the creatures are mostly the same. All of them depict the Kushtaka as shapeshifters, but the extent of their powers and abilities varies on the people telling the story. Some say that they can transform into humans, as well as certain water animals like otters. It's also said that they have the power to actually transform humans into Kushtaka as well, and that they sometimes do this to help others, which can be questionable. The biggest difference of the stories, though, involve the personality and behavior of the creatures. Some actually paint them as very kind, ones capable of empathy, and will openly go and save people who are drowning in the waters or lost at sea, albeit in ways that may not be pleasant to the humans, such as being turned into a Kushtaka. In contrast, many tell the legends as though the Kushtaka are evil and will use various tactics to trick people into going into the waters near where they live, and then taking them down into a watery grave, even going so far as to use tricks and illusions to ensure that they get their victims. Number 8. The Saberwolf. In Alaska, an American mechanic was doing some work when he claimed to have seen a wolf on steroids. This is one of a few confirmed sightings of a Saberwolf, also known as Waheela. The Waheela is said to be a wolf of massive size and even stronger build than most wolves. It's also said to have a much wider head, so this thing is pretty scary. According to legend, the Saberwolf is found in Canada and Alaska, and to the Inuit people, they believe that the Saberwolf is actually an animal spirit, one that isn't afraid to defeat its prey by biting off their heads, in a single bite. One of the interesting topics of debate are about what the Saberwolf truly is, meaning if they are real, then what are they? There are speculations that they are remnants from a species from the Miocene era. Others say that they could be the last direwolves in the world. Not from Game of Thrones, but rather the Pleistocene era. Some even speculate that they could actually be an entirely new species of wolf. Regardless, people believe in the Saberwolf in one form or another, and some even claim to have caught glimpses of it on TV, such as in the series Alaskan Monsters, where the hosts claim that they saw one and barely escaped with their lives. Number 7. Tisharuk. The Tisharuk are sea serpent-like creatures that are said to roam in the waters of Alaska. Their heads alone are documented, quote-unquote, to be around 7 feet in length, and yet unlike a serpent, their tail end is actually a flipper. All told, the beast is said to be at least 15 feet in length. The legend that surrounds the Tisharuk is actually rather simple. It is an aggressive creature and isn't very friendly to humans, to the extent that they are known to go to docks and piers and actually grab people with impressive speed and drag them into the waters before anyone else can notice they are even there. A more modern sighting of the Tisharuk happened in 2009. A fisherman appeared to capture footage of a snake-like creature going through the waters just off the coast of Alaska. While many faked videos of such mythical creatures have been debunked, this one was actually verified as a real video with an actual animal being caught in the water. Whether it was the Tisharuk is unclear, but after its release, many other people claim to have seen such a creature in the waters of Alaska at some point or another. And now for number 6, but first, if you have anything to add to these legends and stories, let me know in the comments below. And remember to subscribe if you haven't already. We'd love to have you around here. Number 6. The Tornit. In the ancient days of Alaska, there were actually 2 groups of people who inhabited the lands after crossing the Bering Land Bridge. One was the Inuit people, who still live there today, but then there were the Tornit, or the Alaska Bushmen. At first, the Inuit and the Tornit were said to have lived in peace and actually respected one another, but the Inuits were more advanced than the Tornits and could actually build kayaks to go out onto the water and fish. The Tornits couldn't figure out how they did it and were rather envious. As the legend goes, a young Tornit boy was so jealous that he went and stole a young Inuit boy's kayak and took it out for a spin. But when he did, he damaged the boat, and when the Inuit boy found out about this, he waited until the Tornit boy was sleeping and then stabbed him, taking his life. Fearing an all-out war, the Tornits fled the area because they didn't want to be the next victims of the Inuit people. That being said, there are stories of Inuit people, as well as now native Alaskans, going into the wilds of the state and being killed in ways that don't resemble animal attacks, leaving some to wonder if the Tornit people are seeking revenge for what happened to them. Some actually say that the Tornit were giant creatures and that they initially warred with the Inuit people because they infringed on their land. In any case, as the story goes, they're still out there hiding in the wilderness, ready to get you. Number 5. The Thunderbird. Interestingly enough, the Thunderbird legend is one that is rather spread out in North America, including being told not only by Alaskans, but Native Americans in the central part of the United States. Depending on which legend you listen to, the Thunderbirds are what call down the lightning and thunder from the skies themselves. What's more, their size was said to be so large at times that they could grab whales with their talons. It's also said that these birds would hunt lightning snakes and could even throw lightning bolts from their body. Here's the catch. Despite this being a prominent legend, an incident in October of 2002 had many people claiming that a bird the size of a small plane was flying over Alaska, about 20 feet in wingspan. And not just one person reported this, many people did, leading many to believe that the Thunderbird was indeed a true story, because no ordinary creature could be that big. Number 4. The Qalupalik. The Inuit people also tell stories about a monster called the Qalupalik. This is a sea creature that is actually very humanoid in its initial appearance, but looks more and more like a creature from the depths as you get closer to it. The skin of the Qalupalik is green, and when you look at the hands of the creature, they look more like claws. Furthermore, they emit an odd humming sound, as they don't speak any words. Some cultures outside the Inuit have referred to the Qalupalik as the evil mermaids of the seas due to their horrible features and nasty nature. The Qalupalik are always on the lookout for children, specifically children who have disobeyed their parents and thus are ripe for the picking. They will hover in the waters and wait for children who are near their shores to come even closer. Then, using their hums, they'll draw them in, take them, and put them in pouches for safekeeping. Once in the pouch, they'll take them underwater and keep them for all eternity. To be clear, there have been no official reported sightings of the Qalupalik. They were actually made up by the Inuit to scare their children into obeying them. However, the story has endured, and certain TV shows and movies have referenced them a time or two. Number 3. Jiginak. In Lake Iliamna, there is said to be a fish that is so massive and strong that it can hunt entire packs of animals in the water by itself. Multiple Alaskan tribes have claimed to not only have seen this monster, but also be terrorized by it over the centuries. It's become a part of their folklore, and many have claimed to have seen it in the modern age as well. One example was in 1967, when a pilot named Chuck Kapruschetz was flying over Lake Iliamna and noticed an odd creature in the lake. He got his friend and went fishing for the creature. They got appropriate bait and actually attached their bait to a plane via steel cords to ensure their safety. Something then bit into their lines and pulled on the cords with such strength that it actually pulled the boat into the water. The plane was recovered, however, the steel fishing hooks used were now completely straight, which requires a great amount of force. Also, all the food there was now gone. Number 2. The Adlet. The Adlet are what you might call the Alaskan version of a werewolf, but with a few differences. The Inuit people describe the Adlet as a being that has the lower half of a dog but the upper half of a human, which is different than a werewolf, which is often described as a human-sized and figured wolf. What's more, the legends say that these creatures were born via an unholy union between a woman and a dog. The first woman who did this act had 10 children, and only 5 of them were Adlets. The other 5 were regular dogs. Her family cast her out, and her grandfather actually killed the woman's dog husband, which led her to letting her children onto the mainland so that they could run free without fear of being attacked by her family. This in turn led to the creation of more Adlets. The Adlets are said to be very aggressive toward humans and will attack if they see them, likely in some sort of revenge for what happened to their ancestor. Number 1. Bigfoot. Bigfoot, as we know him, may not be a solely Alaskan legend, but for those who study the creature, they admit that if there are 2 places in North America that he, she, or it could hide without much issue or worry, it's either Canada or Alaska. And there have been many people who have reportedly seen Bigfoot within the state. Some of these sightings are actually quite varied from the usual Bigfoot tales, such as a tribe of people actually being stalked by Bigfoot. Another group found Bigfoot, shot at it with shotguns, but it didn't go down. And then when it reappeared, it had scars from the shotgun attack, but appeared to be in good condition. One tale said that a Bigfoot-like creature was actually observing a town full of humans, and then when they discovered it, they chased it towards a lake, to which Bigfoot actually jumped in and swam away. With so many sightings over the years, it's no wonder that many consider Alaska one of the true homes of Bigfoot. Thanks for watching! What did you think about these myths and legends from Alaska? Do you think some of them are real? Let me know in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Bye!